gotta have faith. I gotta have faith. Because I got to have faith. I got to have faith. Baby, I know you're asking me to stay. Say please, please, please don't go away. You say I'm giving you the blues. Maybe you mean every word you say. I can't help.
Okay. There we go. Pitbull Comedy Jam. I'm Howie Wallfish. Pitbull, not Pitbull Comedy Jam. Forgive me, that's my other show. Pitbull Energy Drink sponsoring my other show that I do here at RMC, Roscoe's Media Center, that I'm so proud and happy to be doing, the second installment. It's called Faith. And, of course, that's the classic George Michael song. And all I can say is he's right. You got to have faith. I've been going through all sorts of upheaval living my life. I've been thrown out of my comfort zone. And faith has carried me through in a big way, and I've got some great guests. And one of them you met if you watch my other show. Two of them you met if you watch the other show, but we've got a special guest. But before I get to that, I want to explain something. I was explaining at this birthday party I went to for Sonia, whose birthday party was at on Sunday. I needed to get out and have some fun because of all this upheaval I'm going through. And Alatino was there, Alatino Brown, who's one of the guests. You're going to meet him soon, and he was on just recently. We do 2 shows in a row. We make it happen. So I had told him, things are in complete disarray. I'm not living in my home anymore. I'm staying with a friend. The regular job I thought I was going to get, which was going to be great, fell through. All this disarray. And he said to me, God's in control, and you got to remember that. And he's the second person that told that to me. And I work in the world of comedy. I do stand-up. And believe me, a lot of stand-up comedians, not only are they atheists, they really hate God, and they're not too fun to Christians. And it's very strange because it's not the Crusades anymore. And I try to explain to them at every natural disaster who's the first people there, Christian missionaries. So, whatever. I don't judge. I understand why people are atheists. It's a hard world, and I can understand. They might not understand free will. God didn't create their difficulties. You create your own reality. That's what I believe. So Alatino said to me, I went to this birthday party, and when you go to a birthday party, it's a pool party. That turned out to be a 3 different spot party that we went through. You bring a knapsack, and you bring a towel, and you bring a jug of water. I'm not drinking these days, so I brought a jug of water. And I hadn't used this knapsack in a couple of years probably. And then when I got home, I emptied out the knapsack. And then this is what was in it. Because I write down quotes all the time. I watch The Smiling Minister, Joel Osteen.
I love Joel Osteen.
Really, at a time of great despair, years ago, I found him. And he really lifted my spirits, and I like him. I don't care. There are people that think it's wrong. All these people, it's contra. It's nonsense. All he does is try to make people feel better and believe that good things are coming. So this is what I found, a quote I had written down, I don't know how long ago. Trust God. He is in complete control. You may not like a situation, and trust me, not having my own home with my big bathroom and my jacuzzi tub and sleeping on my king-size silly posturepedic bed and having all my workout equipment in my room, I do not like not being in that situation. So you may not like a situation, but he wouldn't have you there unless you needed it. And the situation I'm in right now is I'm staying at a pal's who has a special needs adult son who he asks a lot of questions, and I quit waiting tables because I can't handle a lot of questions. And my friends have said, "You're a hypocrite. You ask all these questions." I said, "I'm the talk show host. I'll ask the questions." And why I'm there is I have learned a great patience, because if it was anyone else, I would snap. But it's my pal who put me and my dog up in his place in Santa Monica. He's just been a saint. And so for his son, of course, I'm just completely patient. So on that note, that's where I'm needed to be, and different changes are coming, and I'm looking at it as an adventure. I almost got very, very depressed, but for me, I've gone through various depressions. I blew a lot of money in my life, blah, 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 blah. And so for all those that say faith is stupid, I actually had a guy on Facebook tell me faith is stupid, and all the comics that are down on God and the magic man in the sky. They like to use the term the magic man in the sky, which I find very derogatory. I think God is within us all and part of us, and that's... And you can have faith in God, whatever higher self you've got, however you want to perceive God. All I can tell you is faith is a very powerful thing, and has kept me from jumping off a bridge, and has kept me getting up in the morning and moving forward and doing these podcasts, which are the greatest things in the world for my head, even if nobody ever sees them except the people that I'm doing them with. So on that note, let me introduce my first guest, who was my guest on my most recent Pitbull Comedy Jam, Miss Sonia Harley, a.k.a. Sonia Loves Music, which we didn't get to. If you want to find her on Facebook, Sonia Loves Music, Sonia. And Sonia is going to play a little acoustic, faith, gospel, whatever. She grew up in the Holy Roller family, she told me, and we have a very special guest, and that is the creator of Sonia Harley. You introduce Mama.
My gosh. Okay. I'm going to introduce this wonderful woman right here. She's amazing. She is she has her doctorate in theology. She's an ordained minister. She's ministered around for like 15 plus years, doing conferences and all across the world, actually, touring with other ministers, T.D. Jakes and different people of that nature. What I've learned as I have a mother, and I also have like a spiritual counselor in one. So she's my mom, but sometimes I don't like that. But it's okay. But anyway, Dr. Frankie, right here.
Dr. Frankie. Dr. Frankie, okay. Hi. And then, again, my special guest at the last show of Pitbull Comedy Jam was very focused on working on a whole thing to stop cyberbullying. You know, this really has to be addressed in a big way. Awareness, very important. You got 14-year-old girls hanging themselves over this stuff. It's really tragic. Mr. Alatino Brown, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alatino Brown. I met all these people. Well, I met Sonia and Alatino here at RMC Studios, and then I met Sonia's mom at the birthday party, which was Sunday, 2 days ago.
It was so fun.
2 days ago, and it was a lot of fun. It was good to me for getting. Let me tell you something. I got in a pool. It was a nice apartment building, pool and jacuzzi. That jacuzzi was like a sedative.
Oh, I know.
I was rubber when I came out of that thing.
It was so good. Too bad we got kicked out.
So, let's go to your mom, because she's really the high level authority here. Which I just found out before the show that you told me that you. Tour, you do I want to do motivational speaking. I've done some speaking to kids about the perils of credit, but you've actually toured with T.D. Jakes. That's big in the world of
actually, she's got a little mixed up. I was on a tour where T.D. Jakes was there.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a different conference, but I never toured directly with him.
Okay.
But I have toured with the World One for Christ Ministry, Bishop Wayne Davis, Bishop McMurray. Just so many people I could name. Dr. Wanda Davis. Oh my goodness!
These are all people that are
I've been on
motivational
the same platform,
and inspirational.
Yeah, on the same platform with at conferences to speak with Iona Locke, and I could just keep going on and on. These are just fellow ministers of mine that I've met down through the years.
You guys don't preach the hellfire and brimstone. You preach the goodness of having faith, right?
Yes.
The importance of faith.
Yes, and they bring me in for the youth because of her and me meeting so many people in the industry, recording artists. I kind of do a little different things when I'm ministering. I don't kind of twist
She knows how to
things
get
around.
to us. Okay, like a lot of times ministers will get up there and they're talking and they're like, "We're going to go to Ecclesiastes 67 and 39," and they read all this stuff, and then we're just like, "What?" But then she comes up there and then she's like, okay, so let's just say, brush your shoulders off. How many of you guys want to brush your shoulders off today? You like Jay-Z? She starts getting us right away.
Oh, right on.
Right,
so you get to them on their level.
Yeah.
And let's real quick, before I forget, I keep forgetting. I've got to get much more accustomed to these shows. First things first should always be, you can call in 323-965-1600. 323-965-1600. If you got some testimony you want to share, how faith worked for you, all I can tell you is it kept me alive. And the people, and I will no longer have in my life people that tell me faith doesn't work or in any way react negatively when I say my faith has kept me going.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you know what? I don't have room right now for this. It's toxic. I can't listen to this. It's not that you don't have the right to disagree with me.
Yeah.
I need only the people that support and
Yeah, you need the
understand.
positive energy.
Right.
'Cause,
Only.
you know, there's some people, they come around, if they're negative a lot.
A lot.
And if you're a positive person, it's like they come around you and then they try to suck off of your...
They call them, what do they call them? Energy vampires.
Okay,
right?
yeah, see, I'm a vampire, but I'm a good one.
No, you're a good vampire.
But yeah,
No.
and then you find yourself like being drained once you come around.
I can't have it. I can't afford it. I'm up against it right now. I've got a lot to change in my life. At a certain point in life, I'm not 25 anymore, so I can't afford anyone saying anything except, Howie, it's going to work out for you.
Yeah.
You know, the power of suggestion is very powerful, and that's where I have come to believe in faith so powerfully. And watching I like to call him the smiling minister, Joel, because he constantly comes at you with, it's almost hypnotic suggestions. And if you would have told my friends when I was 20 years old in the schoolyard in New York, or 18, that I would ever listen to an evangelist or a minister on television, I said, I don't know who the hell you're talking about, but that ain't Howie. But you know what? This guy, it's almost hypnotic. And they said, you're having your brain washed. I'm like, you know what? I need my brain washed, and this guy can wash my brain all day long because I need it, and I've seen it work. That's the other thing that changes people with the whole concept of faith that I've found. If they will just give it a chance, and they watch it work, it's mind-boggling. You do see miracles happen.
It is.
I've seen them happen.
And you know, like the reason why people who say, "Oh, I don't see any miracles happening," and it's because they're not exercising their faith.
No,
You know? And that's the reason why they don't see miracles happen. Because my mom being a minister, remember I was sharing with you on the phone the other day.
Yeah.
Like every time you say to someone, "Hey,
tomorrow,
I'll see you tomorrow," you're already speaking faith into your life. Because in the Bible, they don't use the word "to" and "morrow." It's two separate words. They always say "on the morrow." They never say "tomorrow" because "to" is a faith word. "To" is an action word. It's speaking things into existence. So even without you realizing that you're utilizing faith, you are utilizing faith every time you say, "see you tomorrow." You know what I mean?
You know what else? There's two things that shook me. Is that one classic saying, and again, I'm no Bible scholar, and I just know what I learned from Joel. I went to Hebrew school. I didn't like what they did to me growing up Jewish. I didn't like it. It didn't make a lot of sense to me because they said they were waiting for the Messiah. Then this guy came along and healed the blind, turned the water into wine, raised from the dead. And no, he ain't the Messiah. I'm like, I don't know. You guys might have made a mistake there, But that was my thinking. But that line about if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you say to this mountain, move, and it shall move. That, to me, certain things are very powerful.
Yeah.
And I know a girl I'm working with on her. She's working on a TV show. She's really coming close. She's got 8 episodes. Hopefully it's going to sell. She carries around a little bag of mustard seeds.
Oh, does she give them away?
No, she carries them. But I thought, you know what? I got to do that. I thought that. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you as an ordained minister is... faith is all well and good, but what's that saying? Or the scripture, faith without applied action. What is this? You can't just say I have faith. You gotta be like she's always on the hustle.
Faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead.
Is dead according to the word of God.
Right,
and I think faith is nothing but hope.
Right.
And hope that is seen is not hope. That's what the Word of God says.
Hope that is not seen is not hope.
Because what do you hope for if you already see it?
Right. What's it? I have the little thing. I found it at the 99-cent store. It's faith is being sure of what you lose hope for and certain of what you do not see. Is that what And I'm like... I
was told at one time when I was very young in the ministry, I was going through a lot, and my bishop told me, he said, hold on to nothing until something comes.
Amen.
Oh, that's funny because that's one of the other quotes I came across the other day. I don't know if it was from Joel. It said, sometimes you just got to hold on and pray.
Yes.
And that's where I feel like I'm at in my life right now.
Yes, I remember Bishop Wayne S. Davis of the World Wonderful Christ Ministry told me one time, he said, hold on to nothing until something comes. He said, something will come.
Something will come.
Will come. In faith, you can... have that faith given out to other people.
Right. That's one of the reasons I want to do the show. I thought, it's time that I have a responsibility to share how I've seen faith work in my life, no matter. And I know people are going to turn on me. I can tell you right now, when this gets out, certain comics are going to find out I'm talking about God and faith.
Oh,
They're
wow.
going to go, and that's their problem. I don't care. I know what it's done for me, and Joel. One of the things Joel Osteen says that I put up on my wall that really struck me again as powerful was, with all human reason for hope being gone, then hope on in faith.
Hope on and
I
faith.
like
on and
that.
faith.
Yes.
Hope
on
yeah,
and faith.
yes, and you have to do that.
You
because
have to do
You
that.
have to hold on to that faith, and you can get in a place where no one can touch that faith.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. I
Because the
agree 100%.
91st Psalm says, "He that dwells in the secret place
Is that
of
right?
the
Is
Most
that what it
High."
says? Oh,
So
I
there's
like
a little
that.
secret place that we can get into
That no
and
one can touch your
No
faith.
one can touch that faith.
Because they're out
No
there.
one.
Joel talks about the enemy. He doesn't really like to mention Satan. Was
Yeah,
never
yeah.
big on Satan. But I'm going to tell you something. In the last few years in this city, in some of the experiences I've had and the behavior of certain people I've seen, I have come to believe without question, whether or not Satan is on this planet, there are demonic emissaries in this world.
Oh,
I am
yes.
thoroughly convinced of that now.
I am convinced of that. But I want to touch on Faith just a little bit.
Tell me.
I can remember when she got the call about going to tour with Social D.
Right.
And she says, "I'm waiting for the phone call."
I like the way the minister just calls him Social D.
And and anyway, when after she got off the phone, and they said, "Well, we have to see." I said, "Pack your bags right now."
Right.
That was Faith talking.
Right.
Before she got that phone call.
And I was like, I'm not going to pack
You
my
know what?
bags.
I'll tell you a similar story to that. I went on a game show years ago, Super Password. There was originally Password, Password Plus, Super Password. Now, one of the things they told you is they'd shoot 5 shows in a day, and the audience that's watching is seeing a different show every day. But you're shooting 5 shows in a day, so you have to bring changes of clothes.
Okay.
And they said to me, I said, well, how many days could you? Because they retired you after the 5th try for the big money. You got retired, even if you never won the big money.
Right.
I said, well, how many days could you possibly be on? They said, you could possibly be on 6 days. Even if you win the big money on the 5th, you could still. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. I packed 6 changes of clothes, and I was an undefeated champion. I was on for 6 days.
Woo, yeah.
I won 31,300.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Now, you're going to sing a song for us on an acoustic guitar? Do we have time? How are we time-wise?
Let's
We
see.
good time-wise?
Let me grab it.
Okay, let's get you. Get the talk. Altino, what do you want to tell us? Tell us about the
Howie-
cyberbullying and your faith that it's going to help save lives.
Well, Howie, thank you so much for having me on your show, number one. Number two, since we're talking about faith, I wouldn't be able to be here today to say hello to Howie, be here with my daughter, and Dr. Frankie, her mom.
The creator. I like
the
to refer to
creator.
her as the creator.
Also, my spiritual partner in guiding Sonia's career path in a very positive and progressive way. That right there is faith. What brought us together was faith. Why we remain together is because of the love we have for each other and the positive collective good that we share. This is what I want to tell everyone out there, is where it's at. Like Joel Osteen being my favorite minister too, his last Sunday sermon, which I do have posted on Facebook for all who want to see it.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this at the party. This is very
You
good.
can find me at
This is very
ALYTINO B as in boy Brown on Facebook.
Altino B. Brown?
Alatino B. Brown.
Okay.
Okay? Joel said, and I'm going to use politically correct terminology at this point,
Well, that's what he used. He
Okay.
doesn't- but we know what he meant.
and he said, boo-boo is dumped upon you and negativity is dumped upon you every day.
Fertilizer. He used the word fertilizer.
This is correct. I was getting to that, Howie.
Okay,
You're
I'm
moving a little bit
sorry.
ahead of the story. But boo-boo that is dumped on you is actually the nutrients that you need to become stronger, to grow your roots deeper, to expand your flower and your positive, your oxygen to the elements. So don't look at boo-boo as a negative thing. Look at it as something that strengthens you. That touched me.
That affected me, too. I got to see him that night.
Right. And that was after Sonia's beautiful party.
Yes.
And remember, it's not that adversity, because God will put the adversity there to see how you deal with it and overcome it with free will to be negative or positive. The more positive you deal with it, the better off you'll be. Trust and believe me. About 9 months ago, I was feeling bad, so I decided to give back to society. E.J. Jackson, one of the leaders in my neighborhood when I was a child, gives away turkeys every Thanksgiving and has been doing it this year, praise the Lord, 32 years. I met a gentleman that everybody here knows at this table as my best friend, Mr. Eric Zuli. We talked, we became friends. He invited me to his very studio as a guest. He took me out of my comfort zone, which is a suit and tie, and made me rap live on this very same stage. And it brought me out of my comfort zone to become a red carpet host, to be involved in meeting Sonia Harley, who auditioned at Mel's Diner, at my table, a cappella with a sore throat. She said, "Can you help me?" I said, "You have talent. I will do anything in my power to bring you where you want to go."
Let me correct that. I did not say, "Can you help me?" I was just singing, and you said, "I like your voice. Let me help you."
There you go.
Excuse me.
All right, listen.
Okay, there you go.
I have to correct that.
Well, thank you.
And
No
I
problem.
love you. But
We
you-
got to get to the song soon
Okay,
because we
we're
only
getting
have
ready
a
to get to the
half-hour
song
show today.
But with that, once again, fate and faith and the belief in you can make a difference in other people's lives. So far, I'm taking on the project of Stop Cyberbullying because it's killing the kids. They have no creativity. The parents are mourning the death of their kids who would normally grow up to be just like Sonia. You are who you are and uniquely who you are as designed by God. Have faith in yourself. If not, call us. Dr. Frankie will help you spiritually. I'll help you positively. Howie will cheer you up and make you laugh. And by all means, Sonia will set the example for you to lead. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, one quick before Sonia sings. Are you on Facebook? Can they reach you on Facebook? Or
Yes. She's going to help me
Oh,
set
she-
my own ministerial
okay, she's going to
page.
get that
Yes,
set up.
but
Okay.
yes.
All right, so right now to reach you, they go to Sonia Loves Music on Facebook. SONIA. All one. And is it LUVS, by the way?
Sonia Love Music.
Sonia Loves LUVS Music. First look, you can't miss her. All right, so you're going to sing a song for us with that magnificent voice of yours?
Hey, yeah, my guitar's not totally tuned up like properly, but it's okay. You know what? I'm gonna say one small thing though. It's really funny.
Okay.
My grandma told me a story. Like she would say this to everyone. So you were mentioning about the fertilizer stuff.
Yes.
Poop, whatever.
Poop, whatever.
My grandma said, she's like, okay, so when if a dog poops on the ground, and after a while it gets hardened over, it gets a crust on it, right?
Yeah.
She's like, and you can walk right by it and you won't even smell it.
Right.
So she was saying, in essence, but if someone comes along with a stick and they stir it up, then you'll be able to smell it. So she's
Interesting.
like,
Very interesting.
you know, use the other word if you want, but poop don't stink until you stir it up. So sometimes it's better just to leave stuff alone and let it be. So that's another lesson,
And this
right?
was just one real quick story. There's that old story about the donkey that fell in the well.
Yes.
And the farmer asked his friends, you know, there was nothing left to do but bury the donkey.
Right.
And they kept throwing dirt in the well to bury the donkey, but the donkey kept using the dirt to step up and step up and step up till he got out of the well.
That's
a
right.
great story.
That
It
is.
a great story.
So
The
if
Marines
you
say improvise, adapt, overcome. And believe me, the Marines have some faith. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
and if you get lemons, make lemonade and sell it for a profit.
There you go. All right, sing for us, young lady.
All right. Well, this is just a fun song that I like.
Okay, that's
it's
fine.
actually
Sing
a
a
very
fun.
song.
It's always good to have fun songs.
Good to have fun songs. Yeah, it's good. Let's see. Ha ha ha. I'm so far from where I started out, so far from where I wanna be, listening for answers in the wind, but I can't find a rock to plant my feet, looking for love in all the wrong places, down on my knees now I'm praying for patience, I know there's gotta be a better way. And In the back of my mind, I hear my mama say, slow down, baby, you're going too fast. Got your hands in the air with your feet on the gas. You're bound to wreck your future, baby, running from your past. Slow down, baby.
Oh my God, you're so awesome.
You know, I'll say one thing.
Thank you.
As this one's career grows, and you should, like, sudden celebrity hit, whether it might come slowly, but if it hits suddenly, one thing I'm certain, we don't have to have any worries about scandals and madness
No
and
way.
nonsense and the prescription drug found in a hotel room with the, you know, it's, I'll tell you, man, I grew up in a nice white middle-class Jewish neighborhood. I got at least 40 people I know dead from drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
There's a difference between the use, misuse, and flat-out self-destructive, insane abuse. It was never an issue in my life of such abuse, but better to me, if I'd have got to them, if I could have got them to listen, you know,
Yes.
to replace that with faith, you know, you got a chance. You got to
You
have
know-
a chance. I mean, I don't know why they're so bent on self-destruction.
When people don't have hope, that's why
I know,
hope.
but these were white middle-class
Yeah.
Jewish kids, and intellectually gifted. They had plenty of hope.
But
I
did they
don't-
have love and support from their parents?
They had
Howie?
neurotic, crazy parents. That's
Okay,
the
were they latchkey children?
Yeah.
A lot of us were, actually.
Were they thrown gifts
Yeah.
rather than attention?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's one
love
thing about
and-
kids,
Okay.
right? It's not where you take them.
No.
It's not what you give them. It's how much time you spend with them.
Exactly.
Right? You got to spend
That's
time
where
with
I'm
your
so
kids.
concerned
When you
about
spend
children.
time, when she was a cheerleader, I was there. When she was in the performing arts school, I was there. Whatever it was, I was always
I just got to know
there.
one thing. Did she just pop out of the womb singing? I'm here. Here I am.
Hi, world.
Hello,
No,
world.
but she
I'm
started
gonna
singing
sing
about
to
5
you.
years old. She was singing.
Not till 5?
About 5.
Oh, really? Well, I'm surprised. I
I
thought it
was
would have been
6.
sooner.
Yeah, I was singing like growing up with my brothers and stuff, you know, and they would play and they would say, "Hey, learn the words to this song. Learn the words to this song."
They were
and they'd
musicians.
but so people think my oldest brother is my dad actually, but he's not. But it's the funny thing about is that, like, so I'd be singing these like really huge songs, like way bigger than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so then everyone thought it was so cute because it's like this little.
Right.
But it did help me learn just how to like have fun and sink myself into the music. You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I mean?
the key thing, is having fun. You know, when I do comedy nights, I pretty much have fun on stage. I do these murder mystery dinner shows. I play the detective. That's really fun for me because it's like being at the schoolyard. I'm just messing with people. It's interactive stuff. But with stand-up, I still sometimes want to do it right. And then I watch the guys that are really, really blow it up. And the one thing they all have in common, they have an unbelievable fun up there.
Yeah.
But
It transfers.
It's
When
there's
you're
no
having fun like
question,
that,
no
it just
question.
goes out. And I like,
No
for me, you know, as the host for TT with Easy with Eric Zuli,
Yeah.
we have a show that we do, and it's geared towards artists.
Right.
And we're actually going to be doing some showcases that are coming up.
Excellent.
They're going to be absolutely amazing with Ernie Singleton, and we're getting everything all together for the artists that are out there to be a part of the
you have to
showcase.
keep me posted
I
on
will
this.
keep you posted so we can come on here and we can market and promote it a little bit more to let the artists out there know that we're doing these showcases.
Right.
And Eric Zuli has an amazing mind, the way that he thinks. You know
He's
what
got
I mean?
a good mind, man. That
He's
guy,
incredible.
I gotta say.
So,
he's
yeah.
a very smart young guy, inspirational.
Everything.
And
And
he's
his
a
energy's
doer.
like-
He's a doer.
He
Yeah,
is.
he's a doer.
That's why we get along,
Very
because
young.
he and I are like,
a
let's go
doer.
get it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, and you, of course, and you too, Valentino. Of
Excuse
course,
me?
yes,
Let me
yes.
ask this,
And I
though.
But yeah,
one
you-
more thing
you
I
know-
want to say, and talking about doing it and being happy about what you do.
This is L.A. There's a lot of talking.
There is a lot of talking. So I'm going to reach out there and I'm going to put this on the table. Songstagram is not just for songs. It's about comedy and pledging. Not only to stop cyberbullying, but pledge yourself into action. Get up off your rear end. Get out there and make a song. Tell a joke. Put it on camera. Put it in front of people who can recognize you get paid for doing what you love. Number 2, people will appreciate it. All of them won't appreciate it. Someone will. Someone, like when Sonia performed for me, I appreciate it. I enjoy it. Where are you now today? Where are you going to be tomorrow? Where will we be next year? Doing the same thing.
Yes.
What are you going to do tomorrow? Lay on the couch and play video games?
There might
get
be,
ahead?
yeah, there might be a lot of talking in L.A., but the other thing about L.A., because there are days I really hate L.A., but the one other thing about L.A. that I tell people all the time, anything can happen. And if you're working it, if you're doing,
and you want to make it happen,
there's no telling who's going to see you, who's going to open a door and another door, and all of a sudden things have changed. Because I know people that it's happened to.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I used to hang out years ago with the guy that wound up writing and producing Independence Day with Will Smith.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
So, you know, I've seen people make.
I really want to be in a major movie like as soon as possible. I'm really crazy, Howie.
Okay.
Like I
Here's
got
two
jokes,
questions.
though.
One for you.
Okay.
How soon are you going to write a song about me? Two, talking about Faith, when we did Pitbull Comedy Jam, she mentioned about the loss of her brothers, and that must have been a true test of faith.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that had to be tough for her. I can't imagine.
It was very, very hard because Sonia's from a second marriage. That's why she says her brothers,
right?
3 others are much older than her,
right?
Because she's from a second marriage.
But still, they were your children.
Yes, but it was very drastic and. Very drastic.
I have a story.
Did it test your faith?
Let me tell
Did you get angry? Let me just ask because some people get angry at God.
I really didn't get angry because of my relationship with God. I didn't get angry. I think I was just bewildered in my mind.
Yeah,
how could this happen?
Right.
If he was a gang banger or something of that nature,
then
but he wasn't.
Right.
He was a good, upstanding young man, and they even came to my job after we had buried him. LAS Sheriff Department came and 2 carloads came and apologized to me because they were trying to say that he was in a gang.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice that they did that.
But they came and brought a lot
what
of
happened to a busboy I worked with who was shot and killed, and they said he was a male prostitute. And I called the guy that wrote in the LA Times. I said, listen, I work with that guy, and he came here on a bus, and he came on 2 or 3 buses. You have got this wrong. That's not right. If it was true, it's one thing. But I'm telling you, it's not right. But
they try to stereotype him.
There's no question.
They tried to stereotype him
question.
Because he was black, very handsome, tall.
Yeah.
That's
but
exactly right.
he's an armed security guard.
Yeah.
With the bulletproof vest on, and he's in a game?
Really?
But this
what
is
did you want to say?
This is what I was going to say. Like, you guys are looking at my momager right now.
My momager.
Yeah, and you're looking at...
I like that. That's good.
That's what I call her, my
momager.
momager. And you're looking at how vibrant she is. And you're looking at all the good energy. I was staying up north with my dad after my older brother had passed away.
Right.
And I came to visit my mom. And everything in the house was dark. Everything was dark.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to come in. Mom, I think I want to, can I just move in with you now? Graduated. I want to. She's like, yeah, okay. So I noticed, like, every day I'd get up and everything would be dark. And I'm
like from Dickens, Mrs. Havisham.
Yeah, everything's dark.
Great Expectations. Her husband stood her up. She closed the house up.
Everything's dark. Everybody's going around doing all that they're doing.
Yeah. Well,
and then my
morning.
mom's just sitting there chill. No, all day, everything dark.
Yeah.
After my brother had passed away, my first brother.
Right.
And then I was just kind of like, oh my God, So I was like, you know what? No. I go, Mom, come on, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a run. I open all of the blinds, all the windows, everything. I'm like, Mom, look how beautiful it is outside. You got it. Come on. I don't want to see this. Right. And it's interesting to me how everyone else, a lot of other people in my family, they walk around and then not notice that she's just sitting there. Everything's dark.
Right.
So that's times when thank God she raised me the way I did. You have to step in. And you have to have faith for the people you love.
Exactly.
So you stand in the gap,
Right.
And I'm seeing her smile now, and it brings tears to my eyes because she could still be in that state of depression, you know. But I wouldn't allow it.
No, some
because
people
she's my
never
mom
get
and I love her,
over it.
and I'm
it's
like,
not that I don't know that you ever get over the loss of a child, but you have to ask yourself. I think what your son would want would be for you to do what you're doing, to move on, to live your life, to help people, and all that good stuff.
Even on his obituary, we wrote on there at the very end. We wrote on there, if you're having a bad day, just think of him and you'll smile.
And you'll smile.
Right
you'll
on.
laugh
Very
a lot.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Very cool.
I carry that with me all the time. So you try to make the most of every situation is what I try to do. And if I'm really upset, I'm really upset. Because usually I don't get upset that much, you know? But if
trying
I'm...
to picture you screaming at someone.
Oh, I can go completely...
it could happen.
She can snap. She can
It
go.
can
I
happen.
can snap. I completely go there, Howie. Like,
Well, I've known her just a short while, and all I ever see her
Howie-
doing is smiling.
Oh, no, she was-
Trust
she
me,
was
she's an
running the other
angel.
day.
She's an angel.
Who could go into turn into a
But there
devil?
are those moments.
Yes.
That the devil comes out, the
Oh,
horns
yeah.
come out.
And when it does, you go, oh
Oh my God!
She seems like she was such a sweet girl.
I
Is
am
that the
still a
same
sweet
one we
girl.
just hugging and kissing a moment ago?
But you know, it's true what you said. You got to sometimes, even for those who just are proud of their atheism. I have this gratitude prayer I say every morning, and one of the lines in it is, I pray for those who are lost and can't find their way, and I pray for those that don't believe, but I thank you that I believe. And it's like, there's like a little old Jewish man once said, it couldn't hurt.
It couldn't hurt.
It's not my job to go around proselytizing. I can't go preaching to people that don't believe. I can only, what I do tell people that have supported me, and I'll tell you the most help that has come my way in this hard time in my life, and I've put myself in this. There's no one else to blame. It ain't God's fault. You know, I've made choices, whatever. The people that have come to my aid the most are those, all my friends. Most of my friends are church-going Christians, you know. And if they're not church-going, they were raised in the church. They're good Christian souls, you know. Yeah. And they're the ones who've opened their homes. They're the ones who've taken me out for meals. They're the ones who say, tell me everything's going to work out, you know. And that's what I need to hear. And so that's why I'd rather be around, you know.
Yes.
The hatred of Christians comes from the extremists, you know.
It's the lack of knowledge, Howie.
I know, but there are unfortunately those people
ones
out there
that get
that
steered.
are like, you know, the Bible thumping. You're going to burn in hell. You have to do. You have to believe exactly what I believe, or you know. It's like, listen, man. I don't. No one's going to ever tell me Jesus told anyone, if you don't believe exactly as I believe, you're going to burn in hell. He just tried to teach peace, love, understanding, tolerance. You know. And these maniacs in the Middle East that are killing Christians that you don't hear about much on the news.
Yeah.
Their whole thing is, you don't believe as us, we're cutting your head off.
Right.
But the funny thing is, when somebody's hurt, if there's something tragic happens in a family, and people say, "Oh, I don't believe in God, I don't believe it," and that person is in critical condition, they're in ICU or they're in a coma. I bet you any money you go to the chapel of that hospital, and you're going to find them in that chapel on their knees saying, "I don't know if you're there, I don't know if you exist, but please save my mom or my sister or my cousin or whoever it is that's in that situation." So I went and painted a rock. I run every day by my house, so I painted this rock. It's gold, and I put on there. It's a prayer rock. So I started this thing called Project Prayer. So I challenged people to find a rock that they really like. You paint it, and you write, "Say your prayer here." You don't have to bend down. You can touch it with your foot, with your hand. Just say one small prayer. Everyone coming together and praying at that rock gives it so much energy, putting out all the good energy into the universe. For everyone,
I agree.
You know?
I want to say one thing based on that. That's a very good idea. Once again, my daughter, you come up with
I did
great
it already. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I want to interject this. If you can't find a rock of your own, find Cyber Chapel on Facebook. Yes, I too have a place to pray for those loved ones, those that have gone astray, for you to find strength. Cyber Chapel on Facebook. It is a group. We are strong. You have someone dying, suffering with terminal diseases. I deal with a lot of nonprofits. And those nonprofits have people every day that come into my life and bring me their stories. Sonia can tell you what I do as a red carpet host. Cyber Chapel was created for that. And if you don't believe it works, today, before I came to do Sonia's show, hold on. A very good friend of mine I've known since 13. She was very vibrant, much like Sonia and much like myself when I was Sonia's age or younger. She had just suffered 3 weeks ago a major heart attack. Wow. She was in ICU. All of my friends out there in Facebook land, whether they knew me from the entertainment industry, my martial arts or gymnastics, my earlier promotions when I was Sonia's age, or knew me from high school, all prayed for the same one. And by the way, we only have about 400 mutual friends in common. So it got out there, and Cyber Chapel is a place to go and say those prayers. Put your prayers there. Yes, I have pages for everything, I think. So Cyber Chapel on Facebook. Please join the group. It's open. Nothing but positivity, no negativity, please. And keep the faith.
Well, I'll tell you what, Howie Wallfish, if you're feeling down, you got my number. Call me. Hey, girl, I'm feeling down today. I will make you laugh.
I just want to say
and that'll give you some energy for at least today.
I just want to say one thing.
Come on, Mama.
Because she was saying, the reason why I'm usually always speaking to the youth.
Yes.
Is a couple of years back, there is a song out that's called 21 Questions.
Okay.
Do anybody remember who did that song?
I got 21 questions.
No.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
It's, and when I said that, I had a message that was entitled 21 Questions. Well, those that were older didn't know, what is she talking about? 21 Questions. But the young people did, and they just start clapping their hands, and they stood on their feet because, see, we need to reach our young.
There is no question.
We need to reach
And how come
the
you
young.
guys are not calling in? We gave you the number. Howie, give us the number again.
323-965-1600. Call us.
Who has enough guts to come forward and say something? Okay?
50 Cent.
50 Cent is who came up with 21 questions.
One that got shot 11 times?
Yes.
Oh,
now you got
God and faith, man.
Really?
That guy I always said I got to give credit to,
Right.
that he got shot 11 times and lived.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a tough.
Yeah.
He came up with that song,
Because it wasn't his
21
time to go.
Questions.
Right. God had a
Now,
purpose.
Billy Joel did a song years ago, and there was a rash of teen suicides. Not over cyberbullying so much, but it might have been drugs. It might have been just the teens get that angst, and they just think there's nothing worth living for, whatever. But Billy Joel wrote a great song. It's called Second Wind. Mm-hmm. Don't forget your second wind. And so anything, look, I used to see a therapist because I was in a bad way. And I told him, look, I don't see the purpose. I just as soon opt out. And I had a $250,000 life insurance policy because somebody had lent me $40,000 unsecured. Mm-hmm. So I had to get I said, it's very nice of you, but if I get hit by a truck, you're screwed for $40,000. I got a life insurance policy. Yeah. He told me the best thing. When I would get into Poor Poor Pitiful Me or whatever, and I tell friends, I've had it, man. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. Whatever. Two of my friends, one's a professional referee, one's just a guy that really stepped up for his family, a man among men. They were very intense. That's not an option. Not an option. I said, I'm a libertarian. I think suicide should be an option. It's our life. Not an option. They were very intense. Other friends are like, oh, stop. You don't really think like that.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to hear that you might be really thinking like that.
Oh, yeah.
But my therapist told me something I'll never forget, and it was the best thing if I ever got in that state of mind again. And this is because he said, Howie, as somebody used to, when he was younger, he was very big on the drugs and alcohol. But somehow he, got past that and became a therapist. He was a very compassionate and a great guy. And he's no longer with us, unfortunately. But this is what he said to me. He said, whenever I used to really think that maybe I'm just opting out of this life, I would think, I wonder what tomorrow's going to be like.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I thought, that is,
tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Linus had a song.
Right? Maybe tomorrow I'm going to get introduced to this commercial agent somebody's been wanting to me introduce me to. She's going to see the value I have, and I'm going to book another commercial. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to meet some woman that has 2 kids, that's a widow, and that we just hit it off, and she's got a house, and she's got plenty of money, and she don't mind that I stay home and write and try to create a screenplay that sells it. Anything can happen.
Anything. Many of the great things that's happened to her is the day after she says, boy, they're like, Mom, I'm just not anymore.
Really, like,
not
I mean,
anymore.
hey, I've contemplated suicide, but let me tell you the reason why I didn't do it. Because nobody ever came back and told me that it worked. So I'm like,
That's a good line, too. That's the other big roll of the dice. I can't tell you for certain if there's a heaven or a hell. I believe there's a heaven for dogs. I believe there's a doggy heaven. But here's the thing.
Go ahead, Howie.
Since you can't say, none of us can say for absolute certain if there's a heaven or a hell, you're really rolling the dice if you choose to opt out by your own hand, because I'd imagine that's not sending you to heaven.
probably
So,
not.
You know,
Not
that's-
Being that God is about life. It's about life. Everything around us is about life. It's all about procreating. Everything is built for us. If we really look at it that way, just growing up in church and stuff, when you walk down the street, you see the flowers and the trees, and then when it rains, and then when it snows, and we get all these different things because that's how much the universe loves us. Like, hey, I'm going to give you all these
got a very good
seasons,
attitude,
you know?
this one.
So it's like, oh my gosh. And so even in our lives every day, we have seasons. We go through snowy days,
Yeah,
rainy
the
days,
Word of God-
whatever, right?
Yeah, and
And you have
Darkness,
to know-
light,
right.
And the Bible
It's gonna-
talks about all the seasons. There are all kind of seasons. There's night season, day seasons. There's all kind of seasons in our life.
And seasons pass.
And seasons
Yes,
pass.
they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But
when
I
you're
wanna-
in the midst of a dark season, it's hard to remember that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for you.
That's
'cause
where faith
easy
comes
for
in.
somebody else to say,
Yeah.
but if you're in it, then
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's easy to tell somebody, yeah, you're
Yes.
going to be okay.
I
But
just want to interject this real quick. Barack Obama, the only reason I'm bringing him up is his mother, who we know was Caucasian, has this little mixed baby, and probably a lot of people told her to abort that baby. I'm pretty sure somebody might have told her that.
Yeah, you're right.
But
At that time in history.
In that time in
yeah.
history. And now this little baby boy is president of the United States.
Twice.
So, twice. So you
terms.
never know what destiny God has for you in your
Yes.
life. So never give up.
Have
if
faith.
you're trying to write a book, hold on.
Keep
Yeah.
If you're a
writing.
comedian, hold on.
Right.
If you're a
Well-
singer,
Hold
hold on. If you're
Well-
getting ready to buy a new car and you don't think you're going to get it, hold on.
That's what I need right now is a new car. And you know what? Every celebrity interview, the vast majority of the people that have made it, when they're asked what was the key thing, almost everyone will say, you got to stay in the game.
Stay in the
You
game.
gotta
You
stay in
gotta
the
stay
game.
in the
Stay in the
game.
game.
You got to. That means being here in LA and doing your thing. If you're a writer, you can stay in the game outside of LA. But if you're doing what you do, you got to be here because there's no telling
That's
who you're
right.
going to meet. Session work,
Yeah.
playing at those nightclubs. There's
Because
no
at first
telling.
I was
Yeah,
staying up
yeah.
north with my dad, you know,
No, you
and then when
gotta
I
be
got the
here.
opportunity, I was like, oh well, I think I have to move.
gotta be here.
I have to move to LA in order to be, you know, to be ready to like
No
to do
question.
stuff.
What you do,
So
you
it
got to
just-
be in LA.
Yeah, because it won't
a
work. I
quitter
can't.
never wins,
I can't.
and a
Like I was
winner
coming
never
all the
quits.
way down
Right.
Right.
to do like a show here, and coming all the way down just to go to the studio.
Right.
So I'd stay with my mom for like a week
Yeah.
and do studio stuff. Then when I'd go back, the producers were like, "Where is she?
We-
Oh, we need her
right.
right now."
No, you
you
gotta
know,
be
and
here. You
yeah.
gotta be here. There's
I
no
want to
question.
say one last thing.
Tell me.
And Howie, this is a very intimate show. We're all talking about faith. Here's a prime example. Just as we were all outside walking into the studio, Dr. Frankie, Sonia comes. Tino, do we have a photographer to film today's reality show? You're the two people dismissed, right? I was fortunate enough to be on Soul Train. That's another whole story and another whole time, ladies and
another
gentlemen.
show.
But we will get into this.
Yes, we'll have to
Once
hear
again,
about that.
And I was invited by a dear friend of mine. Once again, we're 15. We were promoting. And I went to thank him the following week for getting me on. It was Sherwood's BET for the Soul Train Music Awards this year. This is why Songstagram is such a platform for telling you guys all this. I can make a quick video, but Howie, thank you for indulging me. I would like to just take one moment to introduce Mr. Eric Epperson of Epperson Media Company. Come here.
Good,
We need
Eric.
you on the camera. Come here.
There he
Yes.
is. There's Eric.
Okay. All right. Well, while you
I
film that,
love
we're
it.
filming
Thank
you.
you, Eric.
We've
Once
been.
again,
It's like
Yeah.
a weird movie thing. We're
Yeah.
being filmed while being filmed.
Film.
While being
Exactly.
filmed.
And Howie, I forgot. I didn't tell you about the reality show, but you knew
No, you
about
did.
it when
No,
you.
you
I
talked
did
about
tell
it
you about it,
already,
huh?
Yeah, because
It's-
we
But we got to
filmed
keep it
Saturday.
under wraps.
Yeah,
until
yeah,
it
but we're
happens.
keeping it under wraps. But
Okay.
but it's going on, and it's going to work because I
How we
have
time-wise?
faith.
Yes.
We just
Okay.
going on?
All right.
Oh, it's just that we just got the studio for hours. Is that it?
Okay.
I
So
thought it's
also,
generally a half an
Eric
hour show.
Epperson, I like to
But
say
that's okay.
I
We've
need
had plenty to
you
say. It's
to
important.
qualify this statement. When her crew didn't show up, I invited him to come along for the ride, and I told him I can't
That man
guarantee
right
what will
there.
happen, or what's going to go on, but have faith.
10 minutes?
Something good will come out of this. Did you get first camera today, sir?
Yeah, he did because, well, my crew didn't show up and he was here, and that's faith, and not knowing if he was going to actually film or not. So faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
And you know what else?
Howie.
Regarding Eric and the camera, I tell comedians, I said this on the other show, and I'll say this anytime, anywhere. It's all well and good to go to comedy nights and these open mic nights or established nights, and they're in the back rooms at bars, they're in restaurants, but there is nothing more important in this day and age, if you want to be an entertainer, than being on camera. Because of the internet, because of the power of the internet, and how fast something can go viral. And the next thing you know, you're on like Fox News, you had 5 million viewers, or you're on Good Morning America, or you're, So I knew I was going to be on camera because I'm coming to do my podcast. But now there's all this footage of me on this other camera. So the more footage of Howie there is out there, as far as I'm concerned, the better good I can do.
Yes,
for this world.
yes, definitely.
And Howie,
And
once
that's
again, from the bottom of my heart, Cyberspace Media has got you covered.
All right.
Okay, we're plugging. Are we plugging?
Plug
Okay,
it, go
guys,
ahead.
listen.
Plug Eric.
Okay, so
Sonia
let me ask Momager and who I like
Daninger.
again, like
Mama Daninger.
Momager. But no, but Momager's the ordained minister.
Okay, go
So because we got about 7 minutes left or so, is there anything in particular? There's one of the things I have from Joel. Like again, I don't really know the Bible that well, but he quotes certain scriptures that are so uplifting, and one of them is all glory to God, who through his mighty power at work within us can accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. And that particular scripture gives me, in the midst of despair, gave me a lot of hope. I was like, wow. Because if you think the only power you have is your own, and you're falling apart, you're being debilitated by depression, and you're being debilitated by the toxic energies around you, because I was living in a bad situation in a household, or if you're in a nasty marriage, or, you're watching your kid spiral downhill to drug addiction, or any number of things, that particular scripture is like, you're not alone, there's a much greater power. So I just wanted to ask you, as an ordained minister who knows scripture better than I do, anything in particular you like to tell people when they come to you and say, I'm really, really at the end of my rope here, and I don't know, tell me something that's going to lift my spirits, or tell me something that's going to, anything in particular you say to people?
I still would like to go back to that same scripture I quoted early. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High
Keep your faith
shall
powerful.
abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
He that dwell in the secret place.
The secret place. That's a place that
no one can touch your
nobody
faith.
can touch it. The husband can't touch the wife's place. The wife can't
Problems
touch
in
the
your
husband.
kid going
Yes,
south.
drugs, whatever it is.
Whatever,
Get in a secret place. Get in that secret place. And then the word
like
goes on
that.
to say, you have not because you ask not.
Oh yeah, that I
you
like
need to
that.
start
I
asking.
ask every day.
Ask.
Oh, yeah, you're
Ask
talking about
and
it
speaking
shall be
things into
given.
Yes.
existence or whatever, like affirming.
Yeah.
Or
And
something
I have,
we're
you know what I
saying.
have on my computer, and this came from Joel too. I never heard this. Speak of the things that are not as if they already were.
Yes.
Because even Paul
like
says,
that,
I'm
man.
rich.
Do it all
Couldn't
the time.
hurt.
yeah, because Paul says,
Well, yeah, you got a great family.
Paul says, as a man or woman thinketh, so is he.
Right. And it was
Because
that
Paul
book.
was going through something so bad one time,
Right.
he said,
Joel
I
talks about
think
him a lot. Yeah.
myself happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to
The old
think
fake
yourself
until
happy.
you make it.
laugh,
Yes,
smile.
laugh.
It's good for you.
Be
And you have
happy.
free
And they
will.
say
You
that-
can either be happy or you can be sad. Which one would you rather do?
They
Think
talk about
it.
the number. There's that thing about the number of muscles it takes to frown and
And
the number
smile.
of muscles it takes to
To
smile.
smile.
And
I
that
have a song called
smiling in
Smile.
itself-
Yes,
He can
you do.
pull it up and we can play it on the way out if you
Yes,
want.
let's do
Are
it
we,
as
are we
next
close to moving out?
It's
can we
called
pull up
Smile.
Yeah, just go to
We're driving our sound engineer
www.soniaharley.com.
crazy. We're giving
And
him
one
this
last thing.
minute.
Remember.
Wait. Because
Remember-
I got to do this.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
And then we go to Smile.
You guys, this right here, Easy Way Angel. Eric Zuli, you
I'm
rock.
gonna be the first male
I'm an
easy way angel,
Yes,
but I
you
gotta do a
will.
lot
Let
of
me see
sit-ups.
how that looks.
Oh,
Oh,
hey!
there it is right there.
I just-
Oh, the first
Something
male
like-
Easy Way Angel.
And if-
I love it. Turn around.
All
Let me
right,
get
there you
that.
go. Get that shot.
rich women are just going to throw themselves
yes,
out.
There
they
you
are.
go. Well,
All right.
So
Sarah,
if you want to earn your wings, you guys need to go to the Easy Way Angel page on Facebook. There is a page there. Look out for me, Sonia Harley. I host the TT with Easy show. I am also the Easy Way Angel coordinator, and we are going to be doing a competition for girls who would like to become angels. I will keep you posted so you can send your footage in, and maybe, just maybe, you get to come on set with me and Eric Zuli and the other two angels and have a lot of time. Stephanie and Barbara, they're great. And Howie, you are freaking amazing.
Thank you, darling.
And I have more faith right now. From being here today, it's increased.
Good.
It already has.
That's the whole idea.
and remember to always smile because it increases your face value.
www.soniaharley.com.
And you know what? If you're gonna sob in depression, do it in the privacy of your home, or in the loving arms of someone that you feel vulnerable enough to do it with. Like when I see our politicians start crying on camera, I don't like that. I need there are enemies. There are crazy people out there that want to kill us. I need them to know that our guys are badass
There's
guys.
a SoundCloud. You'll
You know,
see
the Bible talks about
Go down.
warriors, and so.
Click on that little wavy thing.
You know, sometimes you're going to weep, but you don't got to do it in public, and then your smile will come back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
So we're going to
Always
listen
smile.
to how we're doing on this song. We got
Okay.
this?
Yeah, we got it.
Thank
See
you,
that
everyone,
comes
for
in?
joining us
We
today.
got to
Yeah,
talk a little more?
Because we got
This is how they
faith.
do it.
That is
It'd be
how
funny
we
if
do
this is how
it.
they did it on the Tonight Show. And checking in.
Do you know
We're getting
that
it.
we
We're
have the
getting it.
possibility of being picked up at any moment?
That's-
Because Eric will call and say, "Oh my God, Howie, you did it again, second time in a row. Oh, come on."
Let's go.
Exactly.
And I did
Why is
want to
nobody
say that
calling
this, we were a
And then
little off on
smile.
our
It's
regular
going to say
time.
smile. You'll see it. Yeah, right
But
on.
just check
one that says
rmconlive.com, and you can reach me on Facebook, Howie Wallfish, Howie. Last name has one L, just like it sounds, WAL Fish. And I'll be posting about when the next shows are coming, and we're going to have regular time slots and guests like these, great guests and people that are fun to hang out with and listen to.
And we're
there's
going to
much
come back and
love.
Yeah,
check
really,
on
really
all of
fun.
you guys. We
Yeah.
want an update on how you
This-
feel after this show.
How you feeling from that energy
this
drink, by the
Pitbull
way?
cranberry pink grapefruit energy drink has intensified my energy. And not only that, but I swear, I feel like I'm thinking a lot quicker right now.
Oh,
Like
this
things
is
are coming to me
fresh.
like, choo, 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 choo. So thanks, Pitbull. Oh my gosh. My best friend is knocked out.
Yeah, you overthought it.
Merlin's here.
Merlin's
I don't know if
crashed
we can
out.
see Merlin, but
Merlin, do you need
he's
some
up
of this?
now.
Is that
No,
what-
none of that.
Don't
This
give
is
me
one
any-
energetic dog, but when it's time to relax, he's been very good lately. He's gotten much better about just relaxing.
Sonia, I love you.
I love you too.
Okay,
Love
we're
you,
coming to
Smile.
the.
Smile.
I love you.
Love you too.
Howie.
All right, so this
I
is my
love you.
song called
We love all
Thank
of
you
you.
for having me on your show. I
Thank you.
really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Howie. This song's called Smile.
Smile. Okay.
Yeah, S-M-I-L-E. Let it go. Give it up.
Is
Set it
that,
free.
who's the guy with the hat that did the happy song? Pharrell?
Pharrell.
Pharrell. Yeah.
Yes. But
So
this
here we
is
go.
Sonia,
People
and I
love
love
that
this song. too.
Okay, let's hear Smile.
Let's hear
Happy and Smile. Where do you go wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here it comes. It's coming. Smile.
That for me, my
S-M-I-L-E, let it go, give it up, set it free, that's how it gotta be. Give it wings so it can fly,
Okay.
and soar across the sky. Do you know the gift within you, and the power that it exudes? S-M-I-L-E, let it go, give
go.
it up, set it free, that's how it gotta be. Give it wings so it can fly,
Let's fly.
and soar across the sky. Do you know the gift within you, and the power that it exudes? You see, I'm sitting here thinking that I may be wasting my time, cause it's hard to find somebody that feels the way I do about life. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I know it's not as easy as that. You're checking me from the back, and I'm thinking you fly, boy. I'm wondering why your energy ain't clicking well with me. Maybe cause you're holding it in, and I don't like it. I'm thinking, baby, you're the one, but I won't buy it.
Okay.
So baby, if you wanna be free,
Yeah.
and you wanna get the digits from me, there's just one thing I wanna see. You, let me see ya. M-I-L-E, let it go, give it up, set it free. That's how it gotta be. Give it wings so it can fly.
Let's fly.
And so